Welcome to another episode of Grade Pending. I'm your host, as always, Paul the Bull, no relation to Gravano. Yeah, I know this is the show where we watch and listen to music, movies, and all that good stuff, TV shows, and we give our opinion on it, gives it our grade. You know what I'm saying? We got our unique grading system. It's been a while since we've done it, so for those that don't remember, you know what I'm saying? Awesome is the top, about a 10 to 9 on number scale. Dope, 8 to 7. Meh, 6 to 5. And trash is everything below that, because why even number it? Doesn't matter, it's trash. Trash is trash. All right? Y'all know we do, to talk about it, we got to talk about it. So if anybody haven't seen the movie, don't watch this until you've seen the movie and come back.
Just pause it. Just
Yeah,
pause
just
it.
pause it and come on back. And the movie, of course, that we are talking about is Vengeance. The movie should have been the name of the movie, but it's called The Batman. You know what I'm saying? And, we're going to do our individual reviews first, then come back and talk about it as a community. So,
All right. So for my take on the Batman, I'm gonna go straight up awesome on it. Um, I had my reserves going into it with Matt Reeves being the director. Um, it didn't feel like a comic book movie to me. It felt like a deep mystery detective style feeling to it. It gave me the like Seven. When I watched Seven, I was into that for what's going to happen next kind of feeling to it. So it definitely had a dark feeling to it. Um, Robert Pattinson proved he can be a great Batman. I think he opened my eyes to that. And throughout the movie, 3 hours, it didn't feel like anything was dragging at any point during the film. Everything clicked. The characters stood alone on their own. They didn't need any kind of assistance from Rob Pattinson, or he didn't need to be in every scene to make it touch home. Great cinematography as well. I think the lighting, the sound, all it was dope from beginning to end. And I love the fact that we skipped the part on how how his parents died. Thank God, amen. We didn't see that this time. I gave props just for that part being skipped over. And all around, it was a good film to watch. I think I probably missed a lot that I probably have to go rewatch it again just to see the little hints and cues that I missed along the way. But for me, from start to finish, awesome overall. I didn't think I would like it as much as I did going into it. I had my reserves, but all in all, thoroughly impressed with Matt Reeves and the cast. And for me, straight up awesome.
But yeah, I went in not sure what to expect. Obviously, I was hyped for it, but I wasn't sure what to expect because the Robin Pattinson thing. But I did learn my lesson from the Heath Ledger thing years ago because I was one of the first ones to throw me the bus like fucking Brokeback Mountain, 10 Things I Hate About You. So I was like, you know what? Let me see. I liked him in a lot of his indie movies he did over the years. He came a long way from his Twilight Sparkling Vampire days. So I want to give him a chance. And then just to see the way the movie was done, I was like, you know what? I'm interested. I'm hyped. Let's do it. And as the movie got closer, I got more hype. And I was telling out of the day, I'm already like mad invested financially in this movie because I got like mad different. I got the car. I got the fucking like. I literally have the fucking light up fucking car. The car was fucking badass. But anyway, so how the movie was. We go in there. Otto put me on to the special screen they had going on Tuesday, so you got to see it like a few days earlier. And we went in there like I went in there super hyped. And then the movie starts, and I'm like, all right, this is going good. This is going, and then as the movie going on, like even though it's 3 hours, I didn't feel like I was there for 3 hours. Like I still enjoyed the movie. You could tell it was a little long, but it wasn't where it was like, oh man, it was like, yo, this is good. And every time you think like it's getting towards the end, something else happens, and you're like, oh, but it's not like oh shit, all right, come on, you're enjoying it. But then watching the roles played, I agree with Lewis. Like I think he did a good job as Batman. I liked his role. He was a little bit of an emo Bruce Wayne, but I think that's kind of what they were going for anyway. Um, but I did like that. I was actually really impressed. One with Colin Farrell's makeup. I mean, seeing the trailer, seeing everything, I already knew it was good makeup. But then watching it right there, like, oh, that's some really good fucking makeup. And then also, maybe it was just my eyes, but I feel like purposely done, of course. Like the way they did his scars in certain scenes, he looked like he had a beak. Like he looked like he was a penguin. But I was like, yo, it was done so fucking well, and I loved his acting in it. I loved Gordon, but I mean, then again, I like I'm a fan of Jeffrey Wright. Um, Catwoman did a great job. Like the movie itself was just fucking phenomenal. And in each part you have like you're like obviously we've seen the trailer. We're waiting for the part with the vengeance scene, and the way the trailer set it up, you're hyped with the fact that he's doing the beating. But it happened so much so far at the beginning. They're like, oh shit, I got a lot more to look forward to. And I mean, obviously each reveal was badass as it kept going. And then the car, I mean, when the car turned on, it was over. I had a full on boner. I ripped through my pants. It was fucking phenomenal. So I was just hyped with that alone. I like Riddler. I was a little worried about Riddler because to me he's one of my least favorite characters. What he does, the way he does his riddles and everything is dope, but still one of my least favorite characters out of villains. I'm a big Clayface fan. But I mean I like a lot of the villains, but Riddler's not one of my favorites. But the kid that played him, fucking great. And then again, you know, if you ain't see the movie, it's not our fault. When he's in the interrogation room, oh my god, like bro, he fucking killed it. The movie itself is just phenomenal. I'm hyped. I gotta see it a second time. I know I already went again. Fucking Dominican Batman over here. But I gotta see that shit again. I loved it. I'm going with awesome.
I am darkness. I am vengeance. I am Jared. And this is my review for The Batman. So, come off the rip, this version of Batman, this is a very emo version of Batman. More emo than any other version of Batman or installation of Batman since the Adam West days. So it's different. The entire Gotham is different. It seems to have a little bit more development in terms of city build, at least. But it's a nice plot line. Couple twists. The Riddler is a different type of Riddler. He's on the puzzle still, but it's more of a darker, take on the Riddler, where he's more killer than puzzle maker, which is a difference than, it's a different kind of Riddler from Jim Carrey. So don't have that same expectation of funny man who will also kill somebody. Penguin isn't short anymore. He's a taller person now. But you can kind of get the same feel of Penguin. Falcone is a more well-rounded villain than he was in the Christian Bale series. Actually has a little bit more weight in terms of like the power you feel from Falcone than you did in that series, in that installation of such. Overall, I think the movie was, to me, it's a low dope, high meh, low dope. I'm gonna say low dope. I saw it in 4DX, so that might have a little bit more to it. Like the action scenes, you kind of feel it more in that kind of setting. You get the vengeance part, because that's really what he's about, vengeance. Like, this is Batman trying to find his way into the justice part. It's not justice Batman, this is vengeance Batman. You have a bratty Bruce Wayne who is mad at the world and even mad at Alfred, and you don't get the same kind of like camaraderie that you would get from Bruce and Alfred. Like, his words come full on like deaf ears at times. You do have that bonding moment towards the end for Alfred and Bruce, but overall the movie was pretty okay. I know it had a lot of hype, a lot of build up to it and so forth, but overall I think it was a good movie. To me, I think it's going to be a wasted movie because I don't know how that's going to play out into later things. The way they introduced the silhouette of Joker was okay, I guess. I don't know. Everybody's Joker is different. Everybody wants the Mark Hamill comic book, from animated TV Joker to always appear, and you're never going to get that really on screen. So, I mean, I think it's a pretty good movie. Batman has his darkness. He's trying to find his way into learning how to be Bruce Wayne and also Batman. It's a different spin on the Wayne family, which is pretty cool. He's tired of the same cookie cutter. He was a philanthropist, yada yada. You actually see a dark side to it. They could have went a little bit more into it,
But also the movie's 3 hours long, and they could have cut some of the stuff out from it. Also, like there's some fluff stuff to it. Also, it could be like a 2 hour 15, 2 hour 30 minute movie. But overall, I'm not gonna have too many nips and gripes about it. It's a pretty good movie. Low dope, high man. I think you should go and see it. If you're gonna see it in 4D, um, get your seatbelt ready because it does have a lot of action to it. You do feel every motion of it. If you see it regular, you'll still have a nice experience to it. There are some pretty cool moments in the movie. The car chase scene with Penguin is pretty cool. Catwoman was pretty cool. I think anything Zoe Kravitz is in is pretty cool. And yeah, check it out. Low dope, high man, Batman.
Yeah, this movie was trash. Imagine after all that. The Batman. It was everything I expected it to be honest. When this was first announced, Matt Reeves, okay, dude made me cry with 3 movies with a CG ape. So okay, I knew who was gonna kill it. Battinson, dude's been a beast. Watch The Lighthouse if you haven't. Watch Good Time. I've never seen a Twilight movie. I don't give a shit about that. That dude's a fucking beast, and I knew who was gonna kill it, and he did. Paul Dano, watch There Will Be Blood, and you'll see him. Watch Prisoners, and you'll see him. So once I saw the cast, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a fucking banger. Then I saw the trailer. I was like, oh, amazing. The cinematography, the art style, the design. This is the best Batman's ever looked. The world, Gotham, everything was just on point. You said you didn't feel like a comic. This felt like a graphic novel to me. It's like a 3-hour graphic novel. It had, bits of Hush. It had bits of Ego. It had bits a bunch of comics, a bunch of moments that just saw come to life. As obviously a comic dork, I loved it. I loved it, man. It was so good. I did see it twice. My only nitpick, it was long. It was long, but I loved every minute of it. I was in the world. I enjoyed it. Even though I knew the characters, Long Halloween, I had an idea roughly where it was going. It was still just so well executed. My biggest critique is in the marketing. The second trailer showed way too much. So it came towards the end of the movie. I'm like, oh, there's a scene where he's holding the flare up in the water. And like that took away, like when he sacrificed himself with the electricity, I was like, well, I know in 2 seconds you're gonna be holding the flare up and walking those people out of there. But that was my fault. I should have just stayed away, but it was hard because fucking Batman. But yeah, awesome. 100%. That's my rating. Awesome. I'm not wearing hockey pads.
I gotta be that guy. I liked it. I didn't love it. I do feel the casting was perfect. I feel like they wrote the script with specific people in mind, and they got those people. I think everybody did, what they shined at. Like Paul Dano, Zoe Kravitz, John Turturro. Everybody killed their roles, and with that, I feel like they all outshined Batman. But I do feel it was intended that way because this is a growth of Batman. We're getting like a little origin without the first part. We know what happens to his parents, but we're still getting the I'm figuring this thing out Batman. So I feel like he was overshadowed in this movie by the world, Gotham. This is probably the most fleshed out we've ever seen Gotham City. The characters, it wasn't overwhelming. A lot of people hear, oh, so many villains or whatever in it, but it's like, yeah, but they're not that villain yet. They're just a character, a role in the world that's being built. So I enjoyed that part of it, and I feel like I said the casting was great. Everybody, Paul Dano was believable. Psycho, tormented kid dealing with some things, which is why he felt a connection with Batman, even though he didn't realize he was Bruce, but whatever. He fumbled that part. To me, my biggest nitpicks with the movie, I feel like I did feel the 3 hours because there was a few, dead moments in it that kind of extended and stretched it a little bit. I feel like it could have ended 3 times. The riddles was done, then something else happened, and then this was done. It kept kind of coming back, and I was like, oh, okay, we're still in it, and I was like, wrap it up already. I kind of felt the time kind of wearing down on me, and I feel like the third act was fumbled a little bit. The way it kind of transitioned, I didn't think it was that smooth flowing as the rest of the movie was, and then that third act happened, and it just kind of like went left real quick. So, like I said, I liked it, didn't love it. I did feel like it was a typical comic book movie because, as all comic book movies have, daddy issues. Everybody in this movie had daddy issues, from Batman having daddy issues, Catwoman had daddy issues, Riddler had daddy. Everybody had daddy issues. So that's every comic book movie that we've all seen. That they all had that. And he is not yet the world's greatest detective because he was horrible. He didn't detect or solve any of the crimes. Riddler had to turn himself in. He was a great riddle solver, but not a great detective. So hopefully he'll get better at that as well. So I'm going with dope. It was not awesome to me. I may see it again in theaters, but I'm not in a rush to see it again in theaters. That's how I feel about it.
How long have you been racist, Paul?
Not racist. Never have been. Never
First
have
of all, Penguin didn't have any daddy issues.
How
right.
fucking dare you? Captain America doesn't have any fucking daddy issues either. What the fuck?
Well, he
are you
has
talking about?
no
It's not the
romance
character's fault.
issues.
His parents were
Captain
gunned
America
down.
does have
Did
daddy
we have
issues.
to
They just-
show
they don't
you the
talk about
Martha
it.
scene again? Did you
Captain
just see
America
the
does
Pearl
have
Claw?
daddy issues.
How many
They just
times?
don't talk about it. Why is he so close to Bucky? Because his daddy beat him. They don't talk about it. I'm telling you. That's why he's so close to Bucky. Bucky's the only friend he has because his daddy used to beat him up. There's deleted scenes.
No one mentioned Zoe. Did you guys like Zoe?
I did. She was great.
I loved her.
She
I
did
think
a
I loved
great
her
job.
as Catwoman.
She had daddy issues, but
Yeah, well, that one for sure. Yeah,
yeah, she had. But I think it was. She didn't call herself Catwoman. I like that. I hated when they said Penguin because it didn't really flow because they never said it again. I did like that they kept calling Batman Vengeance because they heard him say I'm Vengeance, so they was like, okay, hey Vengeance, come in. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I like the naming of that, but I didn't like when they called him
Martinez.
Penguin. Huh?
Martinez was cool. I look forward to seeing him on the show.
Yeah.
The cop.
Like I said, I think every other character outshined Robert Pattinson, which, like I said, I feel like it was intended that way.
Yep. Well, I mean, they
think
started
he
the
was-
movie. They said this is year 2, so
Right,
only
yeah,
been
that's
years.
what I said.
why
I
he
get it. It
scrubbed.
was just like they all bodied their roles. Like they all outshined Robert Pattinson. Now, to you guys, I know you guys are big Robert Pat fans. I feel like this was more the Twilight Rob Pat. They wanted that. I think they wanted him to be that emo, brooding
Once
dude.
again, Paul, as a heterosexual male, I've never seen Twilight, so I don't know how to
I was
compare
forced to
that. I'm
see
sorry.
it, and I see
like
it,
you've
and I was
seen it a
like,
couple times.
I disagree there, though. I disagree there because I think
he didn't stand out.
I think this is a change from when we had Batman as Dark and Vengeance, and then we had Bruce Wayne that's the Playboy. This was the same person. Like him as Batman and him as Bruce was the same person.
He was just like that vampire. He was dark and emo. Yeah, but I'm saying I feel like they wanted him to do that. I'm not saying it as a bad thing. It fit with the tone of the movie. But I feel like they seen him in Twilight and they said we want that more than the other movies he'd done. Like he was more charismatic and in Tenet, and he shined. He stood out more. He was more in this. He barely spoke. And again, they wanted him to be that way. So I think they wanted that emo character, that vampire, that shimmering vampire from Twilight. They wanted that, and they seen him pull it off, and they was like, the ladies are gonna come watch it, and obviously the guys are gonna come watch it. So we're gonna win-win with that because they love that dude. He stands there, looks up. He did a great job with his eyebrow acting. There was a few times he was looking through it, and so facial expressions was good with that because, like I said, he didn't get a lot of lines. But like I said, I feel that was intended. It just he got overshadowed. I feel like he was my least favorite character, and Alfred didn't get much screen time as well. So,
but I did like Alfred. I did like the role he did though. Andy Serkis, I love him, so I think he did a good job as well.
I can't even
together
gauge it.
strong.
He didn't do anything. He trained. We do know he taught him how to fight, so that's why Batman kept getting beat up. So he's like, I taught you how to fight. I was like, oh, that's why. He just takes bullets. Okay. You taught him that. Got it. Get punched in the face.
Oh.
Vengeance.
I'm really curious how this is going to do because this is a 3-hour movie. Obviously, it's like 7 with Batman in it. They replaced Brad Pitt with Batman, and then it's very similar to your point. It was raining all the time. Yeah, just like in 7. Like the influences
it's the darkest
were worn heavy.
Batman movie, like literally dark.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
not even like
But
dark
this
tone. It's literally.
I'm
dark.
really curious if it's going to make a ton of money or not because this is a big investment.
Well,
like,
it will.
Casual people.
This weekend, the opening weekend, it will because the opening weekend had 4 more days.
Well,
So,
it made 21 million last night.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I know it's doing okay, but I'm just curious if it's because unlike the Nolan movies, which were like for everybody, this doesn't seem like it's for everybody. Like I really don't know if this is gonna do well, especially with that length.
Right.
I don't know that we'll get a part 2 or that we'll get any of those TV shows. It's supposed to be a Gotham City PD TV show.
Well, they
Penguin
already
spinoff.
started production on the Penguin one.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything's gonna happen if this movie
True.
doesn't do what it's supposed to. That's why I'm not mad that it was 3 hours, because we might not get any more of the story. This thing was like, this was a love letter from a fanboy, like making
Right.
Batman shit that loves all kinds
And
of
to
Batman.
your point, you said it was your fault. I don't think it's your fault. They put too much in the trailers. The commercials showed every money shot.
But I get it, because they wanted people to come see it, you know.
Yeah.
So I get it, but fuck, that sucks.
Yeah, they
'cause
gave away
ruined
all
so
the
much
money
shit.
shots. The car.
Everything,
They gave away
everything.
the vengeance. They gave away, all. If you watch the trailers, you saw the movie. You just don't know the twists of the movie, but you know the movie.
Yeah.
Like you kind of get it, if you watch the trailer. So like I said, it ain't your fault. That was their fault. They gave a little too much away. I think Paul Dano, he did a great job. Like,
Phenomenal.
It wasn't cheesy. It didn't feel cheesy.
It was heavy because it was realistic. Like John
Yeah.
said, that kid did a good job. Paul's in his fucking mid-30s.
Yeah.
He just looks young.
Yeah,
And they made him be
yeah.
like a chubby incel. And
Yeah.
it worked perfectly.
And as I said, the casting was so spot on. It was like they they wrote this script with the picture of that actor next to it. Like they knew he's gonna be this, she's gonna do like. I feel like they got everybody and they did it. Like they succeeded with that.
They,
Like,
they did a great fucking job, man. I like I said, I loved it. Fucking, and yeah, no, Catwoman, another one. I was like, she saw like, wow, she's like really good. But
Yeah,
but
John, you
the
wouldn't
way
put
she
your
did her
cock
role-
away. I said, John, put your cock away. When the car came out, whenever Zoe was on screen.
My cock was out the entire time. The whole 3 hours, like I was on Viagra. It was there. But like I said, I did love it. I thought it was great. I hope there's a second one. I really do. I'd watch another one. But then again, I love Batman, and Seven's one of my favorite movies of all time, so it makes sense.
Agreed.
How do you guys feel about Barry as Joker and the Joker tease?
it should have been a post-credit scene because that was part when I said the third act.
Sir, this
was
is
a
not a
little-
Marvel film.
But no,
You really
but
want to
hear
sit
me
there
out.
for
But
10
hear
minutes
me
to get a
out.
post-credit scene?
Hear
No.
me
Exactly.
out.
I think that's why they did it.
But it was a sloppy third act because it seemed so out of place. That's why.
I think that was the intent because you started
it
calming
didn't work.
down, like Riddler's arrested, it's all over with, and then
and it was a
bam, like you
and,
can get
and
somebody
that's why I
else.
say the third act was very sloppy because that scene felt so out of place and so unnecessary.
It didn't though. Because we saw him in the jail. The last hour of the movie, Riddler was in jail, so we just followed up where everybody was.
If it's a post-credit scene, then it's more of in that moment it was a little like, oh wait,
But
what?
that-
Like,
again, that's trying to get off that Marvel trend of doing post-credit scenes.
This is not Marvel, baby.
That's
That's
not Marvel, and that's why I put into it.
but they didn't invent the post-credit scene, so it's not nobody. Yes, the common idiot gonna say, "Oh, you're
But
trying
they
to be like
perfected
Marvel."
it.
We
That's
know
the thing.
better. We know better. So don't give me that. We know it's not a Marvel thing. It's a common sense thing.
No,
In
I
the
like it.
movie,
I like it
seems
smack dab
out
in the
of
middle of the
place.
movie stuff.
Separately, it has more impact because in that moment, it seemed mad random, like and didn't give anything. It was in the midst of what was going on. It was
I
sloppy.
disagree.
Yeah,
One
I
of the things I
disagree.
hated about the Dark
I
Knight.
did like how they introduced him. I liked it, but I didn't know much about. I didn't even know he was gonna have a little cameo in there, and I have no clue who's playing him. You keep saying Barry, I don't even know who's playing him.
He's the
kid
guy
Eternals.
from Eternals, Druid from the Eternals.
If you had watched
okay.
the movie, I told you, Killing of a Sacred Deer, like I fucking told you, you would know
I've
this.
seen it 3 times. I've seen it. I watched it the other day. I told
Kid
you I
from
watched it
that
the other
movie.
day.
That kid with Colin Farrell, that's him. Yeah, he's got the big nose. He's a little short, but he can do a good job. He's a good actor. I don't know that I want to see fucking Joker again. I really don't, to be honest.
have no
But I get it.
choice.
That he made it his solo movie made $1 billion. So Joker's money, they're gonna do it again. What are you gonna do?
And they know they can't do a Batman universe without Joker. Like it's impossible.
But can we give props to the way they humanized Batman's parents? That they had issues, they weren't
Yeah,
perfect.
absolutely.
And that makes
Martha
sense.
had mental illness.
Amazing,
Martha has
Amazing.
mental issues. That explains his mental issues.
right? His dad bribed Karma,
Mhm.
Falcone. Like that was amazing to me that they finally put something in there that's relatable to anybody can relate to their parents being crazy and their pops tied to the mob. So
Mhm.
I love the way they humanized it. Finally, that we see he wasn't perfect. It wasn't the perfect choir boy got robbed of his parents. It's like, well, your parents did some stuff.
Right. And back to him being a horrible detective. He just believed everything everybody said. He goes to Falcone and he's like, "Oh yeah, nah, Maroni killed your dad." He goes out, "Yo, you didn't tell me that he didn't kill your dad. He killed your dad. Why you didn't? Do some detective work for a
Sir,
change. Stop listening to
He
people."
was mentally not all there, sir. His parents were.
Remember,
But he
you're
needs to be a
too.
better
Him, sir.
detective. He
But remember,
can't
he's
just take what
trauma.
someone says and run
Year
with it.
two. So
Be a
it's
better
year two.
I'm gonna
detective.
go kill your parents, Paul. This is the
Be
only
a
way you
better
can understand the
detective.
trauma.
That's all I'm saying. Stop taking what
But he was
everybody
supposed
just
to be a rookie.
says.
But
Some evidence.
But there was subtle hints that he was inexperienced. Like when he first got on top and he looked down, he did the
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He
broke
fell every
his
time he
ass.
used the little squirrel wings.
right. Like you see him like he wasn't the Batman yet. Like he wasn't the Batman that we all know as muy macho and not scared of nothing. You
Even
see
Penguin
his,
called
like,
it out.
He wasn't ready.
The
I'm
greatest
just gonna put
detective
this
in the
out there.
world?
This
Come
Batman was a virgin. That was his
Right.
first kiss. This dude
on. You
was
can see, he
fucking.
was like, oh, God.
Yeah, he was like,
Bats
oh
are getting
shit,
tight.
bat boner. That was the first bat boner.
I had that boner the whole time.
But yeah, like I said, I'm like when I say that again, I'm not knocking. It was. If I feel like it was on purpose, but it was like, yeah, he's
I
not
get it, you're
very good at
racist.
this. He's not very good at this, and it showed. They sold that to me. He's not very good at his job right now. I'm hoping.
So
he
would
gets
you
better.
say? Because people are gonna ask, would you say this is your least favorite of the Batman movies?
As far as origin movies go, yes. So
Wow.
as far as
The fuck does
Batman,
that mean?
Batman Begins is much better than this. Batman Begins is way better than this. Now,
That's your-
Dark
right,
Knight
that's your
Rises is
opinion.
horrible, so it's better than that. So origin movies, first Keaton movie better than this. Batman Begins is the best origin movie to me of the Batmans. So,
But this isn't an origin movie.
or
It's year
is it?
two.
But it
It's
is.
year
But that's
two.
the point. He's inexperienced. This is his origin. He's growing. He's vengeance in this movie. He becomes Batman at the end of this movie because he realized, oh, y'all vengeance too? I'm not vengeance no more. I'm not vengeance no more.
Yeah.
No. I'm Batman. I'm Batman. Call me Batman now.
fair.
Call me Batman now. So this is
So-
an origin movie.
What about? So where do you? What would you consider Batfleck? Because he didn't have his own solo movie.
And that's why I don't count it. Yeah, he didn't have his own movie.
Fuck you mean you don't count? He was in 5 movies though.
So you going by the character? So you asked me about the movie though. You asking about the
Yeah.
movie or the character? You
It
asked
says it
about,
right there. Batfleck is king. It says it right there, right?
no, I still. The problem with that is there was inconsistency because they switched directors and stuff. So I don't have a solid Batfleck to go on. He's one way in this movie. He's one way in that movie. So I don't have consistency enough to. The same way people, the Joker was like he was that Joker. We didn't get enough of him. I can't assess those characters because they screwed that up completely. The Snyderverse was completely jacked up. So it's an incomplete. I can't give it a grade. It's incomplete.
That's
But
fair.
I like I said, this is to me is an origin. Yeah, they didn't go through the whole they killed his parents thing, but they mention it. It's story in that, and this is the birth of him. This is the growth of him. So to me though, Batman Begins did it in less time. I think the fighting was much better in Batman Begins and that whole Dark Knight. Some people complain about the cuts that Snyder uses. I didn't like the cuts, but I think the League of Shadow Ninjas when they was switching that was awesome compared to just random thugs that he beat up for the most part. And that's another thing. It's like Lou said, it's not a comic. It was a typical comic book.
It wasn't a superhero movie.
He fought
That's
himself.
what my point was.
Like every comic book movie, he fights his self. He fought the Vengeances, the Vengeance crew. Like that's how comic book movies go. You got daddy issues. You got a female love interest. You fight yourself at the end. It was just darker, but I get it. It did have that detective element in there. I need more. I need to know why Gordon trusts him so much, because the rest of the police is like, why you got him here? And Gordon's like, he's with me. He's like, yeah, but why?
Read the comic.
Why are y'all so cool? You don't even know this dude.
Read the
In
fucking
year
comic.
one,
There's
I
5
love reading
seasons of
comics.
Gotham. Watch 5 seasons of Gotham.
Gotham
Right.
is boring. 1, 2. This is
No.
not that. This is Matt Reeves' Batman. It's not tied to anything else they told me. So they should
I
tell
like
me
Gotham.
here.
Sounds like you wanted an
I thought it
origin.
was pretty good.
It's good,
I
but
got that.
why? Why are they so cool? Why is Gordon willing to risk his job for him?
You'll find out in
Because
Gotham
Batman
PD
did
on
in year
HBO
one.
Max.
But this is year
Well,
2.
Batman did
If
it
you're not
year
going to show
one.
me year 1,
Right.
then don't skip stuff. If it's important, if it's pertinent information there.
But this
I
is the
shouldn't have to
13th
watch the
live-action
movie,
Batman
buy a
movie.
comic, read the book, do the no. Give me the answer. That's
This
part
is
of the
the
movie.
13th live-action Batman movie. You can't
But
keep
it's
showing the
just-
same
it's
movie over and
not
over
connected
again.
to those though.
Watch Batman
Begins.
Begins.
Explain that to me here.
Why do we have? Why? You
Because
need to
it's
be
not
spoon-fed.
like
This is
the-
not a Marvel movie. You don't have to be spoon-fed every fucking film.
But
Doesn't make any sense.
Because their relationship is not as good in other ones as it is in this one. Gordon literally told him take the key, go to he didn't have that relationship like that. They built it up in those other movies. This movie
Because
is just automatic. In year 2, I whatever you need, I got you.
I think because the previous Batman movies were the same rinse, recycle, repeat kind of thing.
Yes.
Matt
Which is
Reeves didn't
fine.
do
I'm
that.
not
No, it's not
comparing
fine though. Like,
movies, though.
it's over. Like that rinse
Yeah,
repeat
but
is done with.
that's
Paul,
still
take off that Batman shirt right now. You can't wear
We
that
can
shirt.
skip
You can't wear
the
that shirt.
origin and the death of his parents, but if there's a relationship on screen, it needs to have reasoning behind it.
The reason
needs
that
to
for
be
the
on-
first year he was Batman, he was taking care of business.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think so. Like
It doesn't say that though. Where do you get that from? You're just assuming that because you've seen other movies. So if I'm going to
Nah,
take
this is
other
year
movies,
two.
then I'm going to take other movies. Then I have to take other
That's
movies
not
in
true.
accountability.
That's not true. This is year 2, which means for one whole year he was fucking shit up and helping out the PD.
right.
So he trusts him.
But he's the only one.
He
Why
even,
does
but he
trust
even
him other
mentioned,
than
he's
cops
like, yo,
don't?
we've been,
Cops
we've
don't
been,
trust
we've been,
him.
he even
Because
said,
the
yo,
others are
we've
on
been
the
fighting
payroll.
crime together, and I don't even know who you are. Like he touched on it.
Right.
But
It's
what-
called instinct. They're
And the- and the-
acting
don't
good.
trust him.
But the regular cops never trusted Batman anyway.
Yeah, because they were on the payroll. That was
Right,
the point.
Yeah, on the tape.
Not all of them. Apparently, they all. In the end, they weren't.
Those are the few ones that Gordon was cool with.
So then they would be the ones that would still be cool with him. However, so there's a small select group. Where the fuck they come from? There's no answer. It just happens. The third act was sloppy. That's part of that too. The third act. Yeah, these are good cops. Yeah, we hit. We got been at the whole time.
Wait, who taught Ra's al Ghul how to fight?
Who taught Ra's al Ghul how to fight?
Yeah, because in the
That
movie
was
he's
years
already
old,
the
bro.
boss, and he's teaching Batman how to be a ninja. But who taught him how to be a ninja? They didn't show
Spirit or
that.
something. There
Shut
was
the
a spirit.
fuck up! You
He's
sound
not in it.
ridiculous.
Okay, but Ra's
You
al
sound
Ghul's not
fucking
in
insane.
there. Why are you bringing him
Take
up in
that
this
shirt
universe?
off right now.
See, that's why you're conflicting.
I'm not wearing hockey
Ghul
pads.
up. Alfred taught him how to fight. We got that. They told us that. They
That was
told us that Alfred told him how to fight, right? They could have mentioned somewhere that there was a part where Batman saved Gordon or something like that. Something. Give us something. Show me
So in the middle of this 3-hour movie, you want
Out
to
of the
determine
blue.
is, hey, remember when you saved me from that guy?
In
who
a
was gonna
3-hour
take my
movie, you
wallet?
shouldn't overlook something like that.
But it's a known relationship.
Right. I don't think you have to.
If you've seen other Batmans, that's my point. In this specific movie, if they took the time to say, "Hey, I taught you how to fight," they could take the time to say their relationship. 'Cause
think
that's
for a
that's supposed to be the
second
relationship between him and Alfred.
If you think for a second that Bruce didn't go train elsewhere, that it was just Alfred, you're out of your mind.
Well, that's what they told me. Where are you getting that from?
Because you know who Batman is. He's one of the largest.
I don't
IP
know
in the
this
world.
Batman. So once again, you're looking outside this movie.
You're
That's
wearing
my
a Neil
point.
Adams Batman shirt from the
You're
60s.
looking
Like,
outside this movie for something this movie didn't tell you. That's my
Yes.
point.
so if you watch a Mickey Mouse movie, do you need to know the origin of where this mouse was born and how he grew
If
up?
you're
Like
telling
some
me
shit
it's
that you just
different,
know.
it's reimagined, it's repurposed, it's yes. Yes.
But the same, you can say the same thing for how Spider-Man was introduced in Civil War. We didn't
And I
see
did.
Exactly.
that.
Where's
I
something
did.
then?
Sorry.
Where's
And I
something
did.
then?
I
You
did.
knew. Did you know how he got bit by a spider? No, we
But
never.
they
We still don't
mentioned
know how he got
it.
bit.
But they mentioned it.
You're out of your
They
mind.
did mention
You're
it.
fine.
They
You're being a
mentioned it.
contrarian for contrarian's sake.
But they mentioned it. Why you? If you're
And they
gonna,
mentioned
if
it
you're
in the
gonna say-
Batman.
But
They
they-
mentioned,
but they-
hey,
but
we've been
they
doing this for a
mentioned
year,
But did they
and I
mention
don't
it?
know who you are. It's
But did they-
mentioned.
But did they mention it? Do you know
Yes.
how he became Spider-Man?
They said, hey, we've been doing this for a year. I still don't know who the hell you are. And that's the
And I
drama
trust you
right
with my
there.
life and my job, my career.
Because
That
they've been
makes
doing
no
it for a
sense.
year. They've been doing it for a year.
No, if the so,
So
the
hold
cops
on, so
have
hold
been
on.
there.
I'm sorry,
Cops
if me and
have
Otto been
there.
going to war for a year and we
Yeah.
both still alive,
Where did
you
they
better
say
believe I trust you with my life.
What war? What
Wait,
war?
so if there was a sentence that said, "Hey, man, I can't believe that one time you rescued me when the other cop was gonna kill me," that would bump
Right.
your grade from a dope to an awesome. Like, what the fuck are we
No,
talking?
I didn't
here?
say that
You're
at
out
all.
of your
No.
goddamn mind.
That's
It's
part of my
implied
problem.
that
That's
they
not
have
the only
this
problem.
connection.
That's not the only problem. That's part of the problem, though.
The connection is implied right there. Like, I know you for a year. I don't know who you are.
I
Like,
know you,
you
and I
can build
don't know
that.
you, but I trust you with my career.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen any buddy cop film?
They
Like,
usually tell you.
What about
connection.
Seven? We're talking about Seven. This movie stole from Seven. Do we have
Right.
to show like from the like? What are you?
There's
you're
no
crazy.
Batman. They're partners in that movie already for years, not 2 years.
So the amount of years now, you're out of your
A
mind.
random guy.
Are you
I don't-
drunk?
Listen,
what the fuck are we
listen,
talking
listen,
about right now?
Listen, stop nitpicking what I say. It's not the amount of years. This guy, I know his first name, his last name. I know his wife. I know his kids. I know where he lives. I know everything about my partner. I drop him off at home.
Are you talking
This
about
dude
Jared?
just disappears. I don't know this dude. I don't know this dude. Who is
But
he?
he's sending it. Hold on. But every time he lights that motherfucking signal in the sky, he comes through.
Exactly. Did you
And
want them
he's-
to
and-
show where he bought the light? Did you need to see that too? Did you need to see it installed? Like, what the fuck? Are you wanted this to be longer? This is not a TV show.
No, but in 3 hours, you could explain some of that.
Yo, hold on. If every time you had beef, I still came through and took care of you, regardless of where I live, does that matter? I'm taking care of the problem.
Right.
But they don't say that though. That's the point. They don't say.
They said it the one line. That's all you
Show,
need.
don't tell.
We've been
Show,
doing
don't
it
tell.
for a
Show,
year.
don't tell.
We've
But
been
I'm
doing
showing
this
you
for
my
a year now.
career. Like,
Show, don't tell.
it's
They were
one
showing
thing
you.
to say, but they didn't show it. They didn't show it. They just showed.
What do you mean? They showed Gordon sacrificing, risking his career. I can get in a lot of trouble, man. You got to get out of here. Oh shit, he's about to get fucking jumped up there. How do I get up there? They showed that Gordon cares about Batman and he's looking out for him.
Well,
What do you
to me,
what do you want to know why he did that? Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Yes. To me, that was
Listen,
very empty.
the next
It was an
Marvel
empty
movie
connection.
comes out in May. You can watch that nonsense in May and have a good time with your
Listen,
spoon-fed.
But see, that's your DC bias talking. If you want to, I didn't
No,
bring
because I
up
can
Marvel.
like both. I would
didn't
never
bring
pick
up Marvel.
apart. I would never pick apart whatever your favorite superhero is. Movie.
I pick apart Marvel movies too. That's what I'm saying. I pick apart movies. That's what I do. It
Why
wasn't
can't you
perfect.
just enjoy things?
I did enjoy it, and I said that. Liked it, didn't love it. Liked it though. I did like it, but it wasn't perfect, and it's okay to mention some things to me that I didn't like. We all should be able to do that. That's why we do this.
I don't know how to get
I
this
do
shit
want
off
to
my
remind you guys,
face.
though, that twice during this podcast, I don't said the words, I'm a heterosexual male while wearing mascara. Don't put that out.
War paint, John. It's war paint.
It's war paint.
It's eye black. I don't know how to get it off. So the Peacemaker review is going to be weird.
No, I mean, you can put the cowl back on and be for Peacemaker.
I thought he was gonna do that.
But no, it's not hot, dude. It's fucking latex. I'm not wearing hockey pads or any pants. It is really hot.
You never got latex before? Come on.
Right.
It's been an hour. So we agree that A plus A plus A plus dope means A, right? It's gonna be a big fat A. Paul?
We don't average.
Did you already design the bat A that you're gonna put on this?
We don't average it. We just let everybody's opinion be what it is. We don't
Right.
average
Well,
it.
you
You
have
can
three correct
have
ones
a
and one
you
wrong
can have
one.
a you can have the V come up and then slowly rotate and turn to A.
My vote is still dope. I didn't think it was awesome. It's my show. I can do the audio over on all y'all.
Imagine he just dubs us in Spanish. Oh, we didn't give enough credit. Speaking of Spanish, Penguin almost stole the show. That dude was mad funny.
No, he did steal the show. He did. He did. steal
I
the
think
show.
that was the whole. I think that was the whole implication of like, hey, because Batman stands on his own already.
Yeah.
Like we could have made Rob Pattinson in 99 of 100 scenes, and everyone would be like, all right, it's Batman. But we didn't get that. Every character stood on their own on every scene they were in, which was amazing. You don't normally get that from a Batman movie.
Right.
You don't. So props to them because Colin Farrell was on point with his jokes. Like he came across as a Brooklyn mobster, and then he doing the lines and he's like, hey, that shit was funny. You caught that
I'm still
shit?
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I got you. I got you. That shit
Right.
was awesome.
I was so mad that they showed that in the commercial.
Gabagool.
That scene in
Yeah.
the car would have been so awesome if it wasn't in the commercial.
Yeah,
Like
bro.
that was he stole. He definitely he probably was like the highlight of the whole thing. Like he definitely stood out. Him and Paul Dano. Paul Dano, like he definitely, you know, as far as being the main antagonist, he killed it. But he
I
wasn't-
love
he-
Paul Dano because you didn't get that typical Riddler feel.
Yeah.
I read an article today that Paul Dano read the script and he literally said, "So I'm not dressing up in green, in bright green," which was fucking awesome. Like it pretty much capped his whole run as the Riddler.
Mhm. And I got it right away. I like the parallel that he idolized Batman. Like from that first scene when he was standing there, that shit was dope. I was like, he's standing there like he just standing there
I like
watching
that
him
he
chase
has a
back and
little
forth.
Insta YouTube channel. Like, follow, and subscribe. Hey guys, we're gonna shoot
My
up the
only
fucking.
problem- My only problem with his
The
YouTube
third
channel
act.
shit,
Again,
like,
I said the third
Yeah.
act.
my only problem with the YouTube channel is he was talking all that, like, you know, I'm for the people and I was an orphan, so he understands being left alone. He followed nobody. He was following 0 people. Everyone followed him. He had followed the rule. He's selfish with his follows.
Well, Batman didn't have a page.
That's a celeb move, you know. You can't. You gotta be.
Right.
Too cool to
If Batman
follow
had a
people.
page, he would have followed Batman. Because he loved Batman. That's why he kept leaving the cards for him. Batman didn't get it. I thought he knew Bruce was Batman. And then when he said that that was the one we didn't get, I was
Yeah.
like, you dumbass.
Yeah, he was saying we. I was like, who the fuck is we? I was like, oh, you dumb fuck.
Yeah, when he said we, I
Fucking
was like,
dumb fanboy fuck.
wait, he don't know? And that's when Batman was like, oh, he don't know? Bang on the glass. I'm not with you. We're not a team. He's like, no, wait, no, we're boys.
No, I do believe this is the first film that got 4 awesomes. That is amazing. A new record for grade pending.
No.
4 awesomes. That's you did it, Batman. You did it.
Did it.
2, 3. Dope.
That's right. 4 awesomes. We did it, guys.
There
We
you
did
go.
it. Yeah, let's get the sequel. All right, this thing's about to cut off.
I don't think I greenlight sequels, so my channel's not big enough to get sequels greenlit. So
We'll get there.
Say
We'll get there.
all
Right?
you want.
It's a vision.
You're right. Yeah.